Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
All right, this is for everyone out there in My805tix land. Coming at you with a new podcast. This is a podcast where we just kind of talk about things that are happening on the platform. This is for organizations, so we presume that you are already doing business here or would maybe one day be doing business with us here at My805tix. Isn't that right, Paul?
That's right. TicketTalk with Colin and Paul.
TicketTalk. Ooh, I think we might have to rebrand. So, Paul, we've had some really great events happening recently. Do you want to tell everyone about the SLO Comedy Festival?
SLO Comedy Festival, third year on the platform, and we do a nice job doing they have 20 different events, different locations.
Yes.
So a bunch of venues, and I kind of tie them all together with like one master event that just kind of spiders out to the tickets on each of the additional events.
Yeah, and just to clarify for everyone, the reason that we're talking about these events is so, if you would like to attend them and buy tickets, you know where to go. But really the reason is if you're interested about all of the features of the platform, right? And so sometimes with these events, especially the events that involve, did you say 20 different locations?
There's 20 different events. I think there are a few duplications on locations.
So, but probably more than 10 locations. Sometimes you actually have to have all of these different things. So to be able to tie all of those events into a single thing, we have to kind of network out.
Right. So I think what you're trying to say, Colin, is that everybody has a really unique way they do events, and with the flexibility of the platform, we're able to get creative and offer a nice solution for whatever it is you're doing.
Exactly.
If you want, I invite people to get weird.
I'm always calling Paul.
We're ready for you.
Do you think we can do this?
And it's typically yes.
It is yes.
Yeah.
With some maybes in there too. Also, SLO Blues is going on sale. Is it today or
today?
Tomorrow? Yeah.
Today.
That's a big deal.
Yeah. So SLO Blues, we got like 25 different home games. Or SLO Blues Baseball over at Sinsheimer Park. We have 1,700 tickets times 25 games. And what I was able to do this year, which is a little bit different, instead of just making an event page for each of the different games, I put all of the games on one page so that you can do all your shopping. So when their customers come shopping and say, okay, well, I want to go to the May 3rd show, I want to go to the July 17th show, I want to go to the August 4th show. They load up all of their stuff in their cart and they check out.
And they could do it with a single checkout. That's really great.
Yeah,
That's a complex setup, Paul. Good job.
It's a fairly complex setup, but it looks really elegant from the user standpoint. It's super easy. We got promo codes to give you discounts that kick in at as soon as you buy 10, you get $2 off of a ticket. All kinds of different things.
That's really good. Yeah, so SLO Blues Baseball.
Yep.
Next one, and I believe this happened, was it last week, and we had Beer Fest / Brews and Brawls.
Right. So we had a couple of our organizations team up for an event called Brews and Brawls. That's Beat Down Promotions and Pouring Productions, which is the SLO Craft Beer Festival. They geared up for an evening of MMA fighting with all you can drink beer over at the Madonna Expo Center, which was surprisingly well-mannered and went very well.
It was very sweet.
And then the next day we had the SLO Craft Beer Festival, which is a big deal.
Big event. How many people were in attendance on that one?
I think we had about 2,600.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, for that one little thing.
And I think probably the reason that we're mentioning this is actually getting the people from outside the event into the event. Because how did you do that on Saturday, Paul?
Well, it was actually pretty easy because we lined everybody up in a chute that wrapped all the way around the parking lot, and we had two different gate times. Early entrance costs you a little bit more for 12 o'clock, and then regular entrance at 1 o'clock. And we had scanners, we had wristband folks, and using our app that goes along with the platform, we were able to get 2,600 people checked in and partying in under 2 hours.
That's pretty good.
Which was
That's a lot of people.
It's pretty good. Yeah, we have full gate staff for your larger events, and we can train you. We can come out and staff if you need.
We can train your staff.
We can train your staff.
Yeah, there have been times I've gone out and trained up a crew of people so they can use our equipment to be able to get everybody in the gate. There's a lot of options.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options available.
So we can handle a gate.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, next on the docket, Paul, is we're going to be talking about new features within the 805tix platform, and that is grid mode for our tickets, right? I just implemented this on the Brass Mash tickets.
So tell us about that, Colin.
Yeah. So before, or in most of the modes, you're going to have to go into the styles of your event. And within the styles, usually when you purchase tickets, it would be like in a list.
Right.
Right? In a list. And so we would have like general admission. I would have my different reservations, any sort of special tickets. Those would all show up in a list. And of course, grid mode is now a grid where it puts, two of the tickets side by side and includes a picture with each one.
Right.
So I had to kind of go and hunt and peck and try to find all the pictures. I had to find a picture of a picnic table and a picture of a bay, and I was actually missing one of the pictures. But luckily, it defaults to your event picture. So
right.
Even if you don't have pictures of the individual ticket types, which I believe you upload the pictures in your ticketing, like when you go and adjust the tickets and stuff, and you can edit your tickets, there's a spot where you can upload a picture for each one.
Right.
But when you put it in grid mode, it adds in that picture, and now it's a little bit more of a visual experience for people to go shopping, and they can see two tickets side by side, and it's a great look.
Yeah, I think it's good. I'd like to give a special shout out to the SLO Downtown Association, who figured that out. Before I almost knew that it existed on the platform, they created some really nice little tickets for each of their different things switched it to grid mode, and it looks great.
Great, yeah. Check out grid mode, everybody.
Yep.
I think it's a good one. All right, Paul. Now for the meat of the podcast. Mr. Paul Irving over here put a fantastic handout together. We're going to be including it in a link below here, as well as if you're watching this on our newsletter. Mm-hmm. You'll be attached to the newsletter or linked in the newsletter. We'll be figuring that out. It'll be somewhere in there.
Yeah. So the idea behind this thing is that a lot of our customers are coming from Eventbrite and just putting in some very rudimentary information about the thing, slap the tickets up, try to sell them, and get on with it. But I think they're from a ticket buyer's perspective, there's one thing that they want to know, and that's everything about your event. They want to know, when do I show up? Are you going to have some food there? Can I bring my goats and weapons? There's so many things that we can do to create some solid communication so that people know exactly what to expect.
Oh, I've got this. So to get ahead, as we have people who come in and want to work with us, it's like a checklist for you to, so as you're creating your event, like, oh, I need this, and and some of these you can ignore because maybe it doesn't work for your event.
you don't have to use all these, but when I do an event setup, I do all of these because I want to create a really nice, tight experience for everybody.
Exactly, and there's always one or two of these that I forget, so I'm going to be checking this out just for reminders. So let's just go ahead and start going through the list here.
Okay, what do you see here, Colin?
I think I like with the helpful graphics, JPEG or PNG. Graphics are what makes the world go round, and oftentimes people are going to judge your event by how it looks, right?
Absolutely.
So just to be able to come in, make sure you have an event logo that is square. Oftentimes it's going to have to fudge a little bit, right? It's not always square on all of the.
No, it's square. The mobile version turns it into like a horizontal rectangle.
Yeah, a little bit more of a rectangle. What I'm saying is, like, your image may have to be a little flexible on it.
But a square logo image which serves as the main item on the banner of the page, but it's also the thumbnail on our listings page.
Yes.
So that's an important graphic.
Second one is the header image. This is the one that goes across.
Header image. Yeah, talk about that, because people kind of struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah, I like to have a nice, wide, simple image of where the event is going to take place. If it's an event that I've done before, maybe it's with people there. But if it's an event I haven't done before, maybe it's not with anyone there, just an outside of the building. It has to be kind of simple, because on the website, the ticketing button's going to land on top of that header. Also, the date and the time is
event name is overlaid.
It's going to have to be kind of a simple image, so you could put those things on top, and it's still going to make sense for the people looking on there. But you definitely want to think about something that'll work wide. So 1,200 pixels by 400 pixels tall. Yeah, which is specific. It has to be.
Yeah, or somewhere thereabouts. Doesn't have to be exact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Poster graphic, and this is to put in one of the text boxes, right?
I like to put that like right in the main page, like throw your whole poster in there.
Yep, I love that idea. And of course, it's probably going to duplicate some of the information over, but sometimes people need extra reminders. Of course, photos and videos of anything that you're doing, anything that's relevant to the event, I think really helps out, and those go right along the bottom. And seems like people really watch those. I check them out. Yeah,
you can create a photo gallery of as many photos as you'd like to include. You could also put in a video gallery just by popping in the YouTube URL.
Logos of your organization or other organizations, I think that's obviously helpful. Ticket graphics, you can customize your tickets.
Like Colin was just saying on the grid view.
And of course your checkout page ticket graphic as well, so your buyers can differentiate from the different ticket types. So, this is what we're talking about with that. I was actually talking about the graphics that go on the ticket PDF.
Oh, right. Yeah, like for example, I just did this on that Brews and Brawls thing over here. You can brand each mobile ticket with a different graphic. So I put like the beer tasting pass had a very distinct graphic on that ticket. So then when they went to show it to the gate guy, it's like, oh, that's the beer guy, send him to the beer wristband guy.
Yep.
And so it really helps simplify just to have your gate people get a visual on it.
Yeah, multiple ticket types. Yeah, very helpful. Of course, there's the general event info, right? We're talking about knowing your date, time, and location. Hopefully you know that about your event already.
Who, what, when, where.
Spend a little time on your description,
why,
of course. Age restrictions. Boy.
21 plus.
Some things are 21 plus, some things are over 18. It might be good to double check. Like, try to get that conversation done early. Yeah. Because there's even a couple events that are like, wait a minute, are under 12 free? And we're always kind of juggling those sorts of things. Really think out your cancellation and refund policy. It defaults to no refunds. I think that's a default text, but if you have anything that you want to do that's different than that, I would have that. Liability waivers, any other special rules that need to be happening.
I really love including liability waivers on the terms and conditions section, because everything in that section must be agreed to prior to checkout. So if somebody actually has a ticket, then they have agreed to your terms and conditions, and you have a record of that.
And I think the Stockyard probably has the most comprehensive. The Stockyard down in Orchid always adds a lot of terms and conditions, and they've really thought about it. So if you're interested in that, go check out the Stockyard events. They have a lot of them.
Yeah.
And they're very well thought out. All right, next one is communication with attendees. Thinking about your order confirmation email when they buy a ticket, what information is going to be emailed to them immediately?
Yeah, so that's an interesting point. We don't have canned messages that just get blasted out because every event is so unique. We don't want to speak for you in conveying some kind of canned message at a specific interval. So what a lot of smart promoters do, and then you go to any bigger venue or bigger promoter, they will always set up what's called a know before you go email. And so you set this thing up 2 to 3 days in advance of your event, and hey attendee, big show coming up, here are some things to keep in mind, here's how the parking goes, here's what our food and drink looks like. Please don't bring your weapons and bird pets, or whatever your rules are. It's a great spot to tell them about it.
I would really consider spending a little bit of time on that, because it's like, if you can answer the questions that our wonderful general public, the wonderful people that are going to be buying your tickets, are going to be probably asking, if you could answer those questions to 90% of the people who are going to read that email.
Yeah.
A couple of the people are not going to read the email because it's general public. But if you can get ahead of it and just let people know, your event will run so much more smoothly.
Yeah, for sure. And another thing that a lot of people don't seem to really take advantage of, like, let's say you have multiple ticket types, even as simple as like a GA and a VIP. There is a spot in the ticket setting where you can convey a message specific to that ticket type in the confirmation email, which I think is good. And
exactly.
And similarly, you can, when you're communicating with your attendees via email, you can communicate with everybody, or you could limit the delivery of that communication down to ticket type or even time slot.
Oh yeah, huh.
Like I've got theater companies that will do like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show all on one thing, and I tie the ticket to that specific access point, and then you not only can check the Saturday people in on Saturday, but you can also communicate with Saturday people. Hey, Saturday people, it looks like rain, bring an umbrella.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. And then get ahead of it. I like the idea of scheduling that know before you go email early on, because the day of the event, you're probably pretty busy.
Yeah, and another thing that you could do, I don't see enough people do this, but I think it's absolutely crucial. We don't really have the functionality built into our system, but if you use, like, you can do this on a Google form or SurveyMonkey or kind of anything, but a post-event wrap-up, how did you like the show? What did you think? Can you give us some feedback? How can we improve?
That's a great suggestion, Paul. I need to do that.
Everybody should do it.
Cool. Other ticket considerations that we have here: event capacity, right? If you can only fit 200 people in there, you probably should only sell 200 tickets. So I would put in that number in the limitations.
And just a comment on that, like, let's say you only have 200 people that can come to your thing. We have a waitlist functionality where once you sell your 200th ticket, your buy tickets button changes into the get on the wait list button if you have it activated.
And get their email. And
then you're collecting emails for people who really wish they could come to your thing, and they're your super fans.
Yeah.
And so what I do with some of my events, I'll reach out to those wait list people first before, like, hey, I know we couldn't get you into our last event, but we want to give you first crack at our upcoming event before we go general on sale.
Yeah. Gives a little perk for the people who couldn't make it the last time.
Yeah.
I like this ticket types, just thinking out what your tickets can be. People love VIPs. People like having the best seat in the house. If they're willing to pay an extra $5 or $10 for something like that, there's that functionality. Ticketing pricing tiers. Oh, this is interesting. Early birds. Right?
Yeah. If you have enough lead time on your event, like let's say it's March 3 today, and let's say you have a June event coming up, you might offer a special incentive for your initial on sale to get special early bird pricing that you can cut off at a specific time, or you could even say, put the next ticket on sale as soon as these 50 tickets or 75 tickets sell.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And that, a great example of that, of course, is Live Oak Music Festival is still doing early bird pricing right now, right? Up until the 15th, April 15th.
Yeah.
Memory serves me properly.
Yeah. So if you like spending more money, just wait till after that.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Paul. We're going to make sure that this is linked up and attached in all the places where you guys can find it. We're going to be sending this to everyone. I know I'm personally going to be looking at this list because there's a couple of these I need to be doing a better job, and I'm guessing there's a couple other people out there that could also use some help, an extra checklist.
Yeah, and what I would also say, and I love doing this with all my clients, is especially on your first event or even any event, like before you go live on your event, let me take a peek at it, and maybe we even jump on a Zoom thing, and I'll help you fill in the blanks on all of these things if you care enough to build out the full experience for your attendee.
Yeah, just be able to kind of zazz it up a little bit.
Yeah.
To make an event a little bit more successful, maybe it's a little more financially successful, or just we need some other people there. Yeah, reach out to Paul or myself, and we can sit down and see if we can put a little sparkle on things.
There's always extra sparkle.
Well, thanks, Paul. How can these wonderful people follow us on other places?
Well, they could hit us. They could follow us on our Facebook page, My805tix on Facebook and Instagram. They could get on our newsletter along with the other 77,000 local ticket buying subscribers that get the message every Wednesday about upcoming events on the platform.
And how they reach out to you?
And they can hit me at paul@bigbigslow.com.
Good. And I'm support at my805tix.com.
And
Thanks, guys.
Hit us up. We're here to help.
We have to clink out. All right, guys. We'll see you
All
around.
right. Cheers.